hold up. Closet. Today we're going to be showing you guys how to cook pork chop and macaroni and cheese today. So it's going to be really good. It's a recipe that we got off of Pinterest. If you are new, boo-boo, let me tell you what to do. You are now joining episode 2 of Cooking with the Kernes. And if you hit that subscribe button, you'll be kicking it with the Kernes all the time. Do all the goods while you're down there. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you think about the meal. Just kind of engage with us. And so I am Chef in Training Jasmine. This is Chef in Training Anna, and this is the Chef Lamar. So from our last episode, we got a lot of feedback. You guys said that you wanted to see Anna do more cooking, so we're going to make sure Anna is more involved in the cooking. You told us to get a cutting board, so we got a cutting board for y'all. You guys also said you wanted to see us talk a little bit more, so when we are closer to the end, we will be telling you guys a story on how we met. And then you said that you wanted to be a little bit more like close up on the process when we're actually seasoning and the seasonings and things that we use. So we'll be doing all of those things because we did get your feedback. So if you are commenting and engaging with us, we are taking all those things into consideration. The last thing that we got was somebody wanted us to make a vegetarian meal. Today's meal will not be vegetarian, but the next meal will be a vegetarian meal. So without further ado, Anna, you want to say something to everybody? Say hi and say welcome to the channel. Okay. All right. Oh, both your hands. Oh. All right. Let's go ahead and season the pork chop. Okay, guys. Now, ladies, listen to me and listen to me real good. Don't you forget your man that packaged pork. Okay. You see how thick and fresh this pork is? He don't want that skinny pork chop. He wants that stuff fresh from the deli. Ain't that right, babe?
That's right.
So these are some really good cuts that I got for him. And so now Chef Lamar is going to show you how we season them. There go my cutting board, y'all. I'm going to get a better one. I'm going to upgrade, but this is the one we got for right now.
Now that one's okay. Alright guys, so hopefully you watched the last video. If you haven't, be sure to check it out. Today we got one of my favorite cuts of meat. It's a thick cut pork chop. Today we're going to be making this in a cast iron pan with some macaroni and cheese. So most of what you're going to be doing is in that cast iron pot. But first I'm going to show you how to season the meat. So first thing you want to do is let the meat get to room temperature. It's been sitting out for about 30 minutes. You want to bring it to room temperature because you get a consistency whenever you're searing it. So with the seasonings, you want to keep it simple. That's the best thing you can do. You're just going to season it like you season a steak. Alright, so first thing we have here is just some cracked peppercorn. We're also going to use some kosher salt. Be sure to use your kosher salt. Don't use the table salt. It's too salty. Kosher salt is a little bit more mild, so make sure you use that, okay? And that's going to form the crust on the outside of it. So just cook it like you would a steak, essentially. So let's start. Alright guys, so let's start with the peppercorn. Again, you're just going to season it very nicely. Season it generously so you get a nice coat on the top. That's what's going to give you the nice crunch and nice flavor, okay? So season each side, and I should say I did use a paper towel to clean up any moisture. That's going to help it get a really nice crunchy coat on the outside, okay? So let's keep seasoning this. Alright, so that's the first side. Alright, now with the second side, you want to use your kosher salt. I could only find the really coarse variant, so what I did was I took some of this and put it in a grinder. So I was going to break it down and I'll be able to get a more even spread all throughout the pork chop. So if you have one, use a grinder. If not, that's okay too.
Use what you got. Use what you got.
Alright, flip it over and we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Season it. And again, this is going to give you a really nice coating on the outside. And remember, just cook it like you would a steak. Whenever you're searing something, you just want to keep it simple. Don't want to make things a little bit more complicated than they need to be. Alright. So I will say this. Pork is a little bit more succulent than steak, so what I usually do is I add a little bit of white wine to it. That helps bring out the sweetness in the pork chop. And again, I wouldn't use this with steak because you don't want your steak to be too sweet, too succulent, but pork is really suitable for a nice white wine when you're searing it. I'll show you in a bit.
Okay, so now Anna, Lena, Chef Anna, and me are going to boil the noodles. These are the noodles that you need. I hope you guys can see that. I'm trying to get a little focus in there. So Anna, go ahead and pour the noodles into the pot. Go ahead, Anna. Pour them in there. Good job. Oh, good job, Anna. You did it. Yeah, you put it in the water. So we're just gonna let that boil, you guys, and I don't know how long it's gonna take, but you know when the thing boil what it look like. So that's what we're about to do. All right.
Just put it in the water.
Put it in the water. Good job.
All right, guys, we're back at my favorite part. Okay, so now we got a searing cast iron pan, right? So what I did was I put some oil in it. I've been letting it heat up for about, what, 2 to 3 minutes. And just like when you're searing a steak, you want to get it steaming hot, okay? You want to get it to the point where it starts smoking up the kitchen a little bit, but not too much, right? So while this has been heating up, my pork chops have been sweating a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm going to dab them a little bit. Don't worry about rubbing off some salt and pepper that you used earlier. It's still going to have the flavor in it, okay? Because it's been sitting out for a little while.
And as you guys saw me in the background, I was just stirring the noodles. They're almost ready. So we'll be pouring the water off of the noodles in just a moment.
Alright guys, so I'm going to put the pork chops in the cast iron pan. Of course, there's going to be a lot more smoke and the oil is going to splash. The oil is very hot, so please be careful. I'm actually, Jasmine, to step back a little bit. Alright. Okay. So I love pork because it's such a succulent cut of meat, right?
Yeah.
So with the white wine, you can bring out a little bit of the sweetness. You can't really do this with steak. So while that's searing, I'm gonna put just a little bit of white wine in there with it. All right? Beautiful. And I'm just gonna let it sear. You want to let it sear for about 3 minutes on each side, just like you would a steak. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some rosemary to the back as well as some sage, okay? And my chef and trainer is going to help me out with that. Anna?
Anna, you're going to help Daddy put the sage and rosemary in.
Let's see if she wants to help me first. Anna, come here. Come here.
Come help Daddy.
All right, now with this, I'm going to try and be careful to make sure.
All right, Anna, here, grab one of these.
Oh, that's a little bit too much.
Too many. Okay, put it in the pot. Thank you, Anna.
Okay, now the rosemary.
All right, grab some of those. The
I'm gonna have to
rosemary.
pick some of this out.
All right, good job.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yes. Thank you, Anna, so much. Good job. Say you did it.
Yeah, you did it. Oh, don't
You
touch
did it.
Thank
All right, you
Anna.
guys. So of course we gotta fix this.
Thank you, chef and trainer Anna. All right, guys. So all I'm doing is just you really only need one leaf of rosemary, 1 leaf of sage, and that's really all you need because they're such intoxicating flavor. So just one is enough. You don't want to overpower the flavor of the pork. Okay. So like I said, I'm gonna let this sear for about 3 minutes. All right, guys. Now look at that. That looks really good, and that's really because what I told you guys earlier. All the salt and pepper. Well, it has 2 main purposes. One is, of course, to add flavor, but secondly, it helps you get that really nice crust, and that's why we cook. That's why we sear at such a high heat, is because it gives you that really nice coating on the outside. It's a nice look, and it's a nice taste. It's very flavorful, okay? So I'm gonna let this cook for about another minute or so, and we'll go back from there.
Alright y'all, so now that the noodles are boiling, you guys know it's going to take some time. We're going to tell you how we met, starting off with how both of us ended up in the same place that night. We're going to let Lamar go first.
Alright guys, so it's a pretty funny story how we met. So pretty much I was working in Water Valley, Mississippi at the time. It was a small town, and one of the guys I worked with, one of the engineers I worked with, he actually told me about this event that was going on around St. Valentine's Day. So I decided to take his word for it. He was married, so I was like, okay, well, let me check it out. It should at least be a little fun. I mean, I'm not sure if he's going to bring his wife or not, what the situation is going to be. So I followed out with him. We met up, we got to the club, took a few shots and everything like that. And yeah, I happened to see Jasmine standing.
Oh, listen, okay, I got to hang out there. Hold on. Okay.
Okay. Let me tell you a little bit more how I got there.
Okay.
So anyway, I was just like, at first I wasn't gonna go out with him because I was just, you know, I haven't hung out with him outside of work, and I thought he was gonna bring his wife, so I was gonna be a third wheel. I was just really bored on the weekend, so I took him up on his word, and yeah, decided to go out.
Okay. So I actually had a date that night to go out, and the guy ended up working late and wasn't able to come out. But just because you can't go, honey, a man don't stop no show. I was already dressed. So I was like, I'm just gonna go out, yes ma'am. I was like, I'm just gonna go out by myself or whatever. So this is over there off of Winchester in Memphis, Tennessee. And so I went ahead and I went up the street to a pool lounge. Now at this point, you guys, I got on a leopard dress, my hair is out, I'm dressed for, you know, like a date, not the pool hall. I'm like, okay, I'm overdressed for this place. The radio comes on and says, ladies free to 11. Oh baby, my kind of party, free. And so it said Love Lounge. And so I'm like, okay, let me look up and see where a Love Lounge is. So I typed in Love Lounge into my navigation. You guys, it said 500 feet away. I'm like, 500 feet? I looked up, y'all, it was across the street. So free to 11, here I go. And here I go. And that's how I ended up in that club. So you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. So pretty much, I get there. I can't find my friend, of course. And I finally find him. This is after we enter. I get patted down. And yeah, he's there by himself. His wife isn't anywhere to be seen. So I didn't know what his situation was, but you know, that's for another time. And yeah, I guess he sees some of his friends, and he just leaves me by myself. I don't know anybody there. It's my first time at the club. It's a lot of people there, so I kind of just go in my own little world. I get some drinks, and then I guess we can go into this. And then I'm just looking around, you know.
Okay, let me tell this part because so let me tell you what I was doing in the club. So now, ladies, when you go out by yourself, you gotta leave at 12 o'clock. So it was like around 9 o'clock that I got into the club, and the drink was hot. So I only got one drink. I'm just bobbing and vibing and weaving and, you know, doing my own thing because I never been to the Love Lounge before. And so, you know, just kind of checking out the scenery, listen to the music. You guys know, like, as the night progresses, the music changes. So I'm just really, like I said, in there by myself, not really looking for anything particularly. But the lady beside me, y'all, is trying to outdance me. So every time I do a move, she's trying to outdo a move better than me. So that was my focus at this point. I'm trying to outdance the lady beside me. And then, you know, make sure I leave by 12 o'clock. Because when you're by yourself, you should not be out. I don't think you should be out that late after 12 if you're not with your girl or with your dude or whatever the case may be. So go ahead.
Yeah, so
it's
anyway,
getting close time for me to leave, and then.
So anyway, I'm looking over, you know, pretty much. I'm a single guy in my 20s, you know, of course. And I'm thinking of, I see Jasmine. At first I think she's with a group. I didn't know she was by herself. And I'm just like, man, I can't go over there and approach no group, man. That's just too much. It was like, you know, she was trying to outdance a girl and stuff. I can't,
you didn't know that.
I can't go over there. It's just too many people. I was nervous. So then finally I waited. I was like on a stakeout mission. And I'm starting to think of pickup lines in my head what I can use to go over there if they finally leave. So finally, the group over there.
Tell them how long you looking at me.
I was, you know, this is gonna make me sound crazy, so I ain't gonna say how long it's been.
No,
I was over there for a little bit, just looking at the situation, trying to get an idea of what's going on there.
Y'all, he was staring at me about 30 minutes.
No, it wasn't that.
About 30 minutes, y'all.
It was a good 10 minutes or so. And then finally, the group that I think she's with starts to leave. So I was like, okay, so she's still here. She's not with the group. I was like, okay, well, she's probably not going to be over there for too long, so I have to go now. It's now or never. And, you know, I had some ideas in my head of what to say, but I just forgot it when I walked up to her, so.
Okay, so now it's about time for me to go because the hoodlum's coming out. The girl done pushed over my purse. I was like, okay, let me get on the body here. And so I turn around, and in my face is tall, dark, and handsome. So I'm like, oh, how you doing? Or whatever. And so then he was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm good. He says, you must be a librarian. A librarian? I said, no, I'm not a librarian. I said, you'll actually be surprised by what I do. So then he said, well, you must be an animal tamer. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, he's trying to be funny because I got on a leopard dress. So I was like, no, I'm an operations manager for Sherwin Williams. That was my job at the time. And so then he was like, oh, okay, that's nice. And he said that I am a, I read palms. So I've studied the body out in Oklahoma. Like I've learned about anatomy in the body and, you know, how people, you know, make certain expressions and stuff or whatever. I said, really? And popped my hand out. So he said, okay. So then he's like, this line means you're gonna have a lot of money. This line means that something else he said, and then he's like, and this last line means I'm lying because I'm an engineer. So I was like, oh, and I kind of pushed him a little bit, and I'm like, an engineer is a cool job, and he was like, yeah, I just didn't know, it was gonna be cooler than, you know, like a, what did you say you were, like some type of
hand, palm reader.
A palm reader, yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing, you know, just recollecting. But yeah, I walked up to her. I had a cool pickup line, but that one actually seemed to work the best. So the one I had probably wouldn't even. Yeah,
it wouldn't have got me.
It probably wouldn't have got her. So yeah, just the advice to the fellas out there, man. Just go up and if you see a pretty girl and you think she might fit your style, just go up and talk to her. You know, because you never know, you know, what the outcome could be. So anyway, I walked over. I was nervous as hell. And I forgot the line I was going to use, so I kind of used that one just on the fly, and it ended up working out pretty well for me, as you can see.
Yeah.
But
what's that supposed to mean? But like she's still here.
I know, right?
Hanging on tight.
Yeah, but yeah, I walked over to her. I finally got the liquid courage and walked up to her, and I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was a pretty funny pickup line. I never used it before, and it just came to my head, and I told her it was a palm reader. And you know, that really opened her up a little bit as far as like receiving me in the conversation. And yeah, I couldn't believe she was operations manager because I thought you had to be a little bit older to be one. You know, she looked really nice.
He was judging. That's what he was doing. So then after he was a palm reader, and you know, and I found out what I did, and he was like, "Where are you from?" And I said, "I'm from Florida. I'm from Jacksonville." So then he was like, "Operations manager from the South." So I'm like, okay, what that mean? So then he says, do you want to take a shot? So for me, I'm like, okay, he really don't want to talk to me because he want a shot. Like he just want to take something quick. I think usually people ask you for a drink and they want you to like, take your time or whatever and talk to you. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll have a shot with you because I've never had a guy that was interested in me asking me, do I want a shot? So I'm like, okay, that's fine, I'll take a shot with you. So we go over, we take the shot or whatever, and so then I'm kind of like, oh, okay, you know, ready to go. It's past my little time for me to be out here by myself. And so then he's like, so tell me, you know, something about yourself. And I was like, well, I'm here in Memphis for this job. I am celebrating 3 years of being a vegetarian. You're a vegetarian from the South? Y'all, he just kept on putting these stereotypes on me, but as you guys can tell, I don't meet any of those stereotypes. Funny thing is though, we've like grown to know that we're not each other's preferences, is how you word it, but it's going really well, Anna. So yeah, we had the shot or whatever. I told him a little bit about myself. We exchanged numbers, and you know what they say, the rest is history. So that's how we met, Memphis, Tennessee. Now we're in Baltimore, Maryland. Anything else you want to say about that night?
No. I think you pretty much summed it up. You talked enough for both of us.
Oh God. Okay, y'all. Let's go ahead and check on our noodles and start searing our pork chops. Alright, you guys, so I've taken the pork chop out of the cast iron pan, and now we're going to put our noodles that's already boiled into the cast iron pan. We're going to leave the rosemary and all the little pork chop fat. I don't know what my husband doing. He over here texting and YouTubing. We're going to leave all that fat and everything into the skillet, and now I'm going to pour the noodles in there. So let me just put this down.
Hold on, babe. Like, look how great these pork chops look. Like, they just look amazing. I don't know if this angle is doing any justice, but
yeah, they look good.
Have you been following with me? Guys, that look just as good as steak. Like, probably better. Put it closer to the pan.
Put it close. Okay, there can see it. Well, y'all, look at that juice dripping off that thing. Ooh,
yeah,
honey bun if I ate meat. Alright, we're going to put that right there. We grab these noodles. You're going to put what? Come on,
guys. Jasmine is stepping out of her comfort zone trying to cook, but no, you don't want to put the noodles in yet. So, all right, Chef Lamar about to step in a little bit. She's still training. It's all good though. Hey, Chef in training, Jasmine, can you please grab me the flour?
Okay.
Can you please grab me the flour and a knife? You don't go in the kitchen much, you don't know where the flour is. But what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to put the butter in the cast iron pan. Again, the rosemary and everything is in there from us cooking the pork chops. It still has flavor in. And we're gonna let this melt a little bit. Then what you're gonna do next is get your bag of flour, and you're gonna put about 1 tablespoon of flour into the cast iron pan. And what that's gonna do, you can add nutritional yeast if you want to, if you don't have flour, but what that's gonna do is gonna help thicken up the macaroni and cheese a little bit, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do. Alright. So grab yourself a nice spoon.
Anna, you wanna put the flour in the pan?
Anna, come here.
You wanna put the flour in the pan? Flour in the pan. Come on, Anna.
Alright.
Yeah, here, scoop it a little bit in there. Scoop the spoon in there.
Alright, Daddy gonna help you.
Yeah, good job. Good job, Anna.
You did it.
You want to do some more or no, that's enough?
No, that's enough.
Alright.
Alright, guys. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
It's sugar.
That was
That's
flour,
flour.
not sugar. But it. Alright, so we done let that butter and that flour melt on down with the rosemary and everything. So we are going to take some heavy whipping cream. Pour a little bit of that in there. That too much? Okay.
Hey guys, heavy whipping cream is just fat. I mean,
Take a little milk.
You're probably ain't counting your calories anyway if you're watching this recipe, so go ahead. Go ahead and be it.
Alright, now I'm going to whisk it around so the flavor can get together. La da da da, la da da da.
This is gonna be a really creamy macaroni and cheese.
Really creamy, but you're gonna get that fat from that whatchamacallit, what's that? That pork chop. Alright, so now we're gonna take these noodles that we already boiled earlier and put them. Wait a minute now, honey, hold up. They ain't supposed to be like that. They ain't moving. There we go. Uh-oh, that don't look good. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know
Guys, I'm just rubbing my head right now.
Y'all know I'm not the
That's why
cook.
she not, she don't.
It don't matter. It'll still taste the same way. Alright, now we're gonna clean up this mess. And we're gonna be right back. Alright, you guys. Sorry about that. Chef Lamar had to come and help Chef Jasmine. So he took a little bit of the noodles out, added a little bit more milk, added a little bit more heavy whipping cream. Now I'm going to stir it up a little bit and then add some cheese. So you're gonna need 3 cheeses for this. You're gonna need this. Now some of y'all don't like Kraft. That's okay. Get the brand you like. Now this right here is the grocery store up north. Weeze. I don't know. Right there. We're gonna put that one in there. And then we're also gonna put this one in there as well. Alright, so let me stir it up with the milk and butter. Get that pork fat in there. Get it up, get all these noodles wet. Is that right, Chef Lamar?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. You're still stirring in the flavors from the pork, the salt and pepper, the rosemary, the sage, the white wine. It's all going to come together and give you a really nice flavor.
All right, now we're going to do a little at a time. A little provolone. Ta 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 ta. All right. Then we're going to do a little ta 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 ta. This heat a little low. Then we're going to do a little mix Mexican. Is this Mexican? Oh, Jack. Okay. So as this is going, we're just going to be adding slowly, stirring, adding slowly, and stirring. So we're going to...
That's good. You know, that's a good amount of cheese. Hey guys,
y'all, that's his way of stopping me. My bad, y'all.
She's trying,
now we're going to come
all.
back to you guys with the finished product. Alright, y'all. Baby, Chef Lamar has done it again with these pork chops and macaroni. Y'all need to share this with your friend, okay? Look at this cheese. Look at that. Look how good that looks. Oh, I was trying to let it drop down slow. Oh, there you go. I like it like that. Don't know how to act. That looks really, really good. That looks really good. He did a phenomenal job as usual. Once again, you guys, this is a Pinterest recipe, so you will find this Pinterest recipe down in the description box. I'm now going to make Lamar a plate and show you guys what it looks like on a plate. And I'm going to let you guys go so you can make it at home. Alright, you guys, that's it. What a plate. Oh, we're supposed to show them the plate. Okay, well, you guys saw what it looked like in the skillet, the macaroni and cheese and pork chops. I am really tired. The hat got my wig sweating. my lashes melting. Baby, the kitchen is not for me, okay? But if you have not subscribed and you made it this far in our little 20-minute video on how to make macaroni and cheese or pork chop, baby, go ahead and subscribe. Stop playing. Start kicking it with the Kernes. Episode 2 is cooking with the Kernes in the kitchen. I love you guys so much, but not more than the Lord loves you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below what we should cook next and everything that you like that you saw today. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Say bye-bye, Anna.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, y'all.